The Tommy Campbell Show. Trump tariffs, trade war nonsense, funny sandwiches, knobs, and beer. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still giving my take on the latest and stupid currently happening on this pale blue dot hurtling through space. Fox's crazy money lady Maria has her work cut out for her trying to pretend Doge and Trump are good, while the stock market goes down quicker than Lauren Boebert at a bowling alley. We are in dark times, and even the lights of the entertainment channel for married cousins could be flipped off soon if Ontario Premier Doug Ford pulls that lever while Trump's own press secretary tries to redefine tariffs.
When President Trump last addressed the BRT when he was on the campaign trail, his big push was on tax cuts. He's going there today as he's proposing tax hikes in the form of tariffs. And I'm curious for why he's prioritizing that over the tax cuts.
He's actually not implementing tax hikes. Tariffs are a tax hike on foreign countries that, again, have been ripping us off. Tariffs are a tax cut for the American people, and the president is a staunch advocate of tax cuts. As you know, he campaigned on no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security benefits. He is committed to all three of those things, and he expects Congress to pass them later this year.
I'm sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have.
That's
they don't get charged on foreign companies, they get charged on the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair and balanced trade, which the American people have not seen in decades, as I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you're trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary.
Did Levitt go to Trump you, Prager you, or the Peterson Academy? Because this is some next level stupid. Tariffs will punish everyone. There are no winners, and she's parroting Trump's crazy posts. And again, I have to remind people that this was all part of the deal he negotiated the last go around. Trump talks about the high dairy tariffs, but omits that they only apply after the U.S. reaches its annual quota of tariff-free sales. The U.S. is not reaching these quotas, and Trump's claim that Canada raised tariffs under Biden is false. While Canada's dairy protectionism is a point of contention, most U.S. agricultural exports to Canada face no tariffs. Trump also slapped tariffs on steel and aluminum, or as my wife says, aluminium, which I quite like. They do spell it differently, though. During the construction of Trump Tower in Chicago, steel and aluminum, see, just changing it up, were sourced from Chinese manufacturers. A Newsweek investigation revealed that the exterior panels, known as the curtain wall, were made using aluminium imported from Permastilisa's South China factory. Everything you buy is going to cost more, and this trade war keeps getting rebranded by Trump's dumpster fire. They want you to believe it won't cost more. Tariffs are patriotic. It's not a trade war, it's a drug war. You know, I've watched a lot of Netflix, and I've yet to see the Narco series that takes place in Regina. Canadian authorities showcased nearly 2,000 pounds of seized narcotics smuggled from the U.S. into Canada, and only 43 pounds of fent was seized going into the USA. That's 0.2% of the total amount seized. Again, Trump's trade war is illegal. It's hurting Americans and Canadians. He's determined to take the world back to the dark ages, and I think that's why he's all in for Mike Johnson, who looks like an evil George McFly. You cannot unsee it. Why would our country allow another country to supply us with electricity, even for a small area? Who made these decisions and why? And can you imagine Canada stooping as low as to use electricity that so affects the life of innocent people as a bargaining chip and a threat? They will pay a financial price for this that's so big that it will be read about in history books for many years to come. Electricity is energy, like gas, that is also supplied from other countries. If getting some juice from Canada was such an issue, why didn't Trump bring it up on his first golf tour as president? The man is raging about the electricity threat, and he doesn't know what to do. It's like Donald Trump picked a fight in a bar and then got mad because the guy opened with a kick in the balls. That's totally not fair. Punches only. I didn't say start yet. Change my diaper, Eric.
Subscribe.
Meanwhile, in Ontario, a board outside a brewery has been getting attention after featuring the Trump sandwich. It comes with white bread full of bologna, Russian dressing, and a small pickle. You know, JD Vance and Elon would eat this no hands on their knees, gobble gobble. Maybe Mike Lindell would give them a chopped up toxic foam pillow to protect their caps while they dig in. But we all know the only sandwiches Trump consumes are ketchup soaked burgers. This cracked me up though, so points to Beau's Brewery. If you see their beer in the wild, give it a go. And if you're in Van Cleek Hill, Ontario, give them a visit. And since we're talking booze, here's BC Premier David Eby laying it on.
We have seen a threat of additional tariffs on the dairy industry, an investigation into our lumber industry by the president with the aim of adding even more tariffs, and disturbing articles in the New York Times and other places about the president threatening to redraw our borders and pursue Canadian water.
Crazy.
Now, the reaction of many British Columbians, myself included, is if the president's so interested in Canadian water, then we're going to help him out by letting him keep his watery beer. I'm here to announce today that we are removing the rest of the American liquor products from the shelves of the BC liquor stores. That's wine, distilled products, and beer. And we're doing this for a couple of reasons. One is to respond to the escalating threats that we're seeing from the United States. The other is to recognize the feeling that many British Columbians have now when we look at American products, we don't even want to see them on the shelf anymore. And so we're sending that strong message. We're responding to what British Columbians are asking for, and we are removing the remainder of the products.
Wow. Well, watery beer. That's pretty funny. I mean, I think there was a time that American beer definitely had this stigma attached, but we wouldn't have the current craft beer explosion without Sierra Nevada, Dogfish, and others. Yes, I get it. Coors Light and Bud Light dominate the markets. I do think it's hilarious that Kid Rock tried to get Bud Light canceled with an MP5 and a 48-year-old Canadian did it with a phone call. It started with the red states, and that was the plan, but as Diaper Don escalated things, David retaliated. For those not aware, the Liquor Control Board of Ontario is one of the largest single buyers of alcohol in the world. And the government-owned and operated BC Liquor is not far behind. These are major blows to breweries and distilleries that would not be happening if Trump were not president. Everything was fine.
Sleepy Joe made the stock market overpriced. That's why I've been working overtime with Elon Musk to make all stocks more affordable. I want Tesla to be like the Costco hot dog and soda. You want to keep it at $1.50 forever.
This is really cool.
Roger Cook, the man that hilariously called J.D. Vance a knob, won in a landslide, and I think calling a knob likely helped Cook win his first election as premier. Roger Cook led the Australian Labor Party to a significant victory in the 2025 Western Australian state election, securing at least 40 seats and over 58% of the two-party preferred vote. This win marked the third consecutive term for the Labor Party in Western Australia, and with Cook's win, he is positioned to do more knob calling, and that's a good thing. Thank you, Australia, and yes, I agree, there is a much better four-letter word to call Vance, but most North Americans can't handle that one, so knob it is. Not everyone has a Brit living with them that drops that 3 times before breakfast.
I would just ask my friends in Canada to let's tamp down the rhetoric. I understand politics and it's a political season there.
I would recommend not taking the advice from someone that just got out of jail. Just saying. Here comes the crybabies, the mindless insults, the lies, the left, the Democrats. Governor Trudeau, Canada, and Australia are not mad at Trump and Vance, only the lefties there. We are one nation under God. We don't need any other countries. Tariffs, trade war nonsense, funny sandwich knobs. The stock market goes down quicker than Laura Boebert at a bowling alley. She has quite a history. Known as the curtain wall, were made from aluminum. I'm like combining the two now. There is a much better 4-letter word to call Vance, but most Americans. Affordable. I want Tesla to be like the Costco hot dog and soda. Keep it at $1.50 forever. It takes a lot to make this one-man show. If you love what I do here, drop me a PayPal tip, leave me a super thanks, consider being a member, check out some of my merch, and if you shop on Amazon, click through my link. It's that simple.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube, and I hope you subscribe.